halfway through the evening session here at the Happy Bet European Darts Open, and we have a man who made the quarterfinals last time out in Kim Viljanen against the King, Mervyn King, also a quarter-finalist at the Austrian Darts Open last weekend. These two squaring off for the right to face Ian White, the number 9 seed, in the second round stage tomorrow. Been a lively evening so far. Kyle Anderson 100 average and 5 180s, but still not enough. Only got 3 legs against the Yorkshireman Peter Jakes. What a performance from the Yorkshireman. You can bet it won't be anything like from the Yorkshireman Chris Murphy in this game, but he'll do his best.
I certainly will try my best. In fact, from the same town as Peter Jakes. Flying the flag for Huddersfield. Him, not me. I'm kind of tarnishing the name of my hometown with my presence on the European Tour this year. But not often that you see two players who are in the last 8 of a European Tour event just a week ago meeting in the first round of the very next one, and that's what we have here with the Flying Finn, Kim Viljanen, against a man who is literally the King, Mervyn King.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First leg is Kim to throw first. Game on.
And he will be the favourite, despite Kim Viljanen's exploits last weekend in Vienna, knocking out not only Krzysztof Ratajski, the man who cannot fail to qualify for European Tour events, and Chris Dobey, but also the world number 3 Peter Wright.
Yeah, I mean, his average was about 13-14 points lower than Peter Wright's in that game, but it did not matter because Kim Viljanen's finishing was superb. He has ice running through his veins. Even in the baking heat of Austria, he did not break a sweat at all, and he never, ever looked perturbed, never looked flustered, never looked worried. Big fan of how Kim Viljanen went about his business in Austria last weekend, and if he carries on in a similar vein here, then Mervyn King is going to be put under a serious examination of his skills.
Yeah, and it's not a description that you could often attribute to Mervyn King, is it? He can make the simplest of tasks look laboured, can't he, in his demeanour?
He can do, but he can also do some pretty magical things, can Merv.
And he's a man who's been threatening this year to go and win something again.
Yeah, he really has. He's got very close, hasn't he?
6 times he's reached the quarterfinals or better. The closest he came was a Players' Championship final against Rob Cross.
And he lost in a deciding leg, didn't he? Could have had wins on the Pro Tour this year for Mervyn King and Steve Beaton, the old boys.
Well, Gary Anderson was telling you just a couple of weeks ago that the old boys are still the best.
He was. I mean, admittedly, there was a 46-year-old man acting like an 8-year-old child in the background of that interview.
Well, that was Ian White, and he will be taking on the winner of this match.
Seamless.
We're not sure if it'll be a dab or a bag on stage.
Well, it might be both. Mervyn King has given himself a good opportunity to break the throw and win this first leg. Viljanen down to a finish, but 15 for double 16 will be the route for Merv.
What makes you think he'll go that way?
Because he's Merv. And we know Merv, and we love Merv. And Merv hits double 16 with alarming regularity. 1-0 to the King.
Yeah, he does love double 16, Mervyn King. And he's broken the Finn's throw in the very first leg.
He won't panic though, Kim. Last week, as Merv fires in a maximum. Last week he was 2-0 down in his opening game to Ratajski, came back and won it. He was 2-0 down to Peter Snakebite Wright, came back and won it. And look at this! 180's traded at the start of this second leg.
Well, he certainly will not panic, and he's showing that with his response to King's max.
100.
Anything you can do, I can do, Merv, says Kim Viljanen. This one of a couple of real standout fixtures this evening for me, Dan. The one that follows, Vincent van der Voort against Cristo Reyes.
136.
A real mouth-watering tie, and one that's kind of completely by fluke, because they were both European Tour qualifiers and ended up drawing each other.
140, Mervyn require 85.
85 then for Mervyn King.
What's the route, Mervyn? Well, it's the 15s for tops. 11 dart leg from Mervyn King, 2-0 up. Although, has he just walked into Kim Viljanen's trap? Because that is the trap that he set for Krzysztof Ratajski. He set it for Peter Snakebite Wright last week. And in both cases, they obligingly walked into it and then lost in deciding late.
Well, Mervyn King's been involved in many matches that have involved huge comebacks in the past. As he outscored his opponent in the first turn, the only way he could have with a 180. And last time he did that, Kim Viljanen hit one straight back. Play it again.
Don't hit maximums against this man. It only spurs him on to hit them back at you. Oh, Merv. Oh, Merv.
99.
Same two words in the same order, but meant completely different things.
Oh,
superb! Kim Viljanen on a 10-dart leg.
Well, we saw one in the very first leg of the previous match, Kyle Anderson.
It was an 11 in the end.
Was it 11 in the end?
He did, he missed the first dart. Bit like that. Oh.
Kyle Anderson still has the best leg of the tournament. Mervyn King is not on a finish though. Now he is.
134.
Well, this has to go now. Kim Viljanen, who finished so excellently last weekend. Can he finish this? Yes, he can. Double eight is there, and Kim Viljanen, the net closes on Mervyn King. Set his trap, Merv walked into it, went 2-0 up, but that's just what he wants you to do.
100.
Yeah, high-profile games I was going to mention in the last leg until they started whacking in 180s and put me off.
Were you going to mention the Masters final?
I was just going to talk about Steve West in the World Championship.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But
yeah, that was a good one.
Was going to mention the Masters final as well, but...
Really?
That was the one that Mervyn King was on the wrong end of when James Ware denied him his first PDC crown.
But he's been playing
40
of late, Mervyn, in the sort of way that suggests he could get another bite at a big TV tournament. Bit like this. A lot like this. 180 number 3 for the King.
There it certainly is, and with some big televised events round the corner kicking off with a World Match Play next month, Merv could well be in the mix. He could well be in the mix for the title this weekend if he carries on in the vein of which he started. Not like that, Merv.
38. Mervyn to require 58.
Well, 18 for tops for Mervyn King. Oh, okay, the double. Well,
50.
Kind of a problem of his own making there, Merv.
Kim require 152.
152 would hurt. Not going to happen though.
The Mervyn back for double 4.
Mervyn, you require 8.
Averaging well over the 100 mark, Mervyn King, after 4 legs. Well, it might not quite be after 4 legs.
4 scored.
Because this 4th leg is not quite finished.
No, and Kim Viljanen, 70 needed. Is it 20 or 12? It's 20 for double 16. And Kim Viljanen pins the double 16, and we have a level game. And Mervyn King, who seemed completely in charge of that leg. Look at that, that's about as animated as we've seen Kim over his European Tour appearances this last week and a half.
I reckon he whispered it. But yeah, Mervyn King, it started with the
100.
dodgy dart at single 18 that found its way into the double, then missed the double 11 inside, down to 3 to leave double 4, missed 3 darts further from there,
100.
and allowed Viljanen the chance to take out the 17. He obliged.
And there you see Kim Viljanen doing what Kim Viljanen did to Peter Wright, in averaging 13, 14 points less than his opponent, but still right there with him. Not quite a fourth maximum in 4 legs for Mervyn King.
I think as well, Dan, that Mervyn King's return to form might just be halted by a 180 by his opponent, but has coincided with a return to his old darts. After a while of playing with those old darts again, he seems to be hitting his peak once more.
You wonder why he ever bothers changing.
He wants, you were commentating a match and he switched with about 6 darts still to throw, didn't he?
He did, and now that is an interesting decision from Kim Viljanen. Did he even realise Mervyn was on a finish?
Well, only he knows. But Mervyn is on a finish, and he does not make the same mistake.
Oh, Kim Viljanen very nearly paying the price there. Didn't use the 11 ball route himself. Mervyn had a chance. Double 8 for Viljanen. Double 4 for Viljanen. And the gambit has not paid off anyone.
So 2 darts for Mervyn King. Double 8s. Double 4, couldn't find it before, but can this time. A break of throw.
6 leg is Mervyn to throw first. Game on.
Well, you can't really say that giving Merv a shot at the bullseye there is what cost him the leg, Kim Viljanen, because he got 3 darts at the double of his choosing. It was missing doubles that cost him the leg, but it could have been taken out of his hands completely.
57.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, we saw the mess that Jermaine Watamina made earlier on. 75 left, 2 darts in a deciding leg and opting not to go for 25 bull.
140.
But yeah, perhaps if Viljanen hadn't realised what Mervyn was on, then it could have played on his mind what he'd just done as he revisited the hockey.
Yes, he watched Merv nearly hit the bullseye to snatch the leg away from him. Ultimately, the same result though, as Mervyn finds himself 3-2 up, but 83 points behind after the first couple of visits.
Well, Mervyn
45
here in Leverkusen, thanks to wins against Keegan Brown and Paul Nicholson.
Loves a game against Nicholson, doesn't he?
Certainly does.
59.
He's got Paul Nicholson quite a lot of commentary work this year.
Yeah, the asset's not so keen on those games with Merv.
137.
And Viljanen coming through the Nordic and Baltic qualifier, seeing off Perlaus and Magnus Karis and Madas Razma. Not easy, is it, to come through those qualifiers? 65. Only one place and names that we're well aware of.
Yeah, well, this is it with Kim Viljanen. This is only his second Euro Tour appearance of the
100.
year, and yet he has dominated that Nordic and Baltic Pro Tour ranking. I mean, he's got twice as much money as the next person on that list. Saw him at the World Championship, of course, because he
57.
stormed his way to the top ranking there last year. But Mervyn looking at 102 here. He's gone 14s. Doesn't hit it though.
54.
Interesting decision from Merv with the way that he does like to go about.
Usually leaves double 16 even when he shouldn't. So,
yeah, that's it.
Strange choice, but Viljanen wants a 1, a 0 and a 2 in a different order. Treble 20 for tops, can't find it, so King will, in the end,
64.
I'm pretty sure he'll get a dart in his favour at double 16.
Yeah, just slide this just inside the double. Right there. Lovely. Textbook stuff from the King. And for the first time, well, the second time I should say, he has a 2-leg advantage, but Kim Viljanen pulled it back last time. Can he pull it back once more?
It's a performance of a very high standard from Mervyn King so far. A 4-2 lead against Kim Viljanen of Finland. The best performer of today, statistically, was James Richardson. So off Mark Webster 6-2 with an average of over 101.
I have to say, though, that Peter Jakes put in quite the display to see off Carl Anderson, who averaged 100 himself.
Well, yeah, that was the second highest average of the day, and it came from a losing player.
Only got 3 legs at that. Madness.
100.
So Viljanen needing to find something big, because King has stolen something of a march in this leg.
95.
15 behind, but plus these, and he's going to take a huge chunk out of it. Will be on a finish.
100.
Got to hit a treble. He can't, and Mervyn King has a couple of visits to clean up 161 for another break of throw.
Perfect dart for him, that.
Maybe just checking the score would have stopped his momentum, but it was the right thing to do. Didn't want to make the same mistake he saw his opponent make earlier on.
True.
60.
Just the 60 from Viljanen, not as much pressure as there might have been. Treble 10 for double 16 for Merv. Lovely first dart. And it's another textbook finish from Mervyn King. The 48 was deadly in the last leg. The 62 even better. 5-2 to Merv. It is looking like a good night for the Merverts.
Certainly is, and Ian White might be losing sleep about the prospect of a clash with an in-form Mervyn King.
Well, Ian White was beaten last time out in the second round by Martin Schindler. Schindler putting in the best display of his career on a big stage.
134.
And so no ranking money for the Diamond. Seeded players have to win their opening game to get that ranking money, and that's not just ranking money on their world ranking, that's ranking money for the European Championship as well, as Mervyn makes it a fourth 180, 7 in this game, 4 to the King. You see Viljanen, whose finishing was his strong point last weekend in Austria, it has not been of the same calibre this evening. Had it been, this game could be very tight.
Mervyn King playing irresistible stuff right now. Frustrated by not adding a fifth 180. He won't care about that in a couple of minutes.
There'll be no finish for Viljanen, and that means that Mervyn doesn't have to use the route that he used last time when he had a go at 1-2-1 and narrowly missed the bullseye. This time, comes down for the 15s, hits it, double eights. Oh,
113.
Well, he almost finished with a fanfare, but Mervyn King may well be in line for honours this weekend.
60.
Fantastic opening display from the King. Just has to finish the job. Double for the target. Down for double 2. And he hasn't quite finished the job yet. And a sublime performance could finish in ridiculous fashion.
well, Mervyn King
133.
held off a fight back from Kim Viljanen in the sort of middle part of the game, but 4 180s, some excellent darts, some clinical finishing, has given him this opportunity.
No score.
But right at the death, it's all gone wrong.
7 missed starts for the match there from Mervyn King, and Viljanen looking to fill his boots. And he's found it, last start in hand, and well, I think he was pointing at the crowd rather than Mervyn himself. Wasn't a bit of finger wagging, was it, and saying that's your own fault, Merv?
Can you imagine? Imagine what sort of response that would elicit from the King.
Well, he's not going to respond to such nonsense. He's going to fix his flight and get on with it.
100.
Well, Kim Viljanen, a hold of throw here, and it's 5-4, and this game looks very different.
95.
And you do wonder what will be going through Mervyn King's mind. He must be feeling that he should be heading off stage right now.
Very dangerous game you're playing if you're trying to get into the mind of Merv.
59. '59.
We've had the role of spoiler last weekend.
121.
Mervyn King, he knocks out both Zoran Lerchbacher and Menzo Suljovic in Vienna.
Yeah, very impressive display against Suljovic particularly.
135.
It's pretty impressive as well though for Kim Viljanen, leaves himself 150.
Can you require 150?
Great dart, needs another. Wonderful stuff for 150 checkout, double 18, misses inside Kim Viljanen.
King has 126 in front of him, a kind of double chance shot. Finds a treble 19, so he will get another match start. It's at double 6. Mervyn checking it's in. It is in. This is the important one though, Merv. And again he misses. That's 8 match starts squandered.
And again, do you think that him just having a look there, breaking up the rhythm of his throw may have cost him? Double 9 for Viljanen. Oh, and he misses inside, and that means Merv gets more match darts. Viljanen busts his score in the end, so would look at double 9 again, but he may not get a chance. Double 6 for Mervyn, working his way in from there. A little bit more, and there it is. Mervyn King completes a 6-3 victory. A shake of the head from King, but a very, very solid display. The average only in the mid-90s in the end, but way up above 100 for significant chunks of that match. The King is through and will take on the Diamond, Ian White, for a place in the 3rd round tomorrow. We have got 3 more games for you. Richard North, the mouth of the South, takes on Devon Peterson, back on the European Tour, first time this year for Big Devon, the South African #1. Dragutin Horvat and Robert Allenstein are in an all-German clash before that. But coming up now, potentially the game of the opening day at the Happy Bet European Darts Open. It is the in-form top man from Spain, Cristo Reyes, against the Dutch destroyer, Vincent van der Voort.
Mal hören, was Mervyn King jetzt gleich zu sagen hat zu seiner Partie. Mervyn, congratulations. Actually, only at the end he had a couple of problems on doubles to finish that one, huh?
Yeah, don't know what happened there. Felt good. Let them go. They felt good. Didn't go in. So, you know.
There's the PDC fishing competition running. I mean, I know you are fishing a lot. Are you part of that whole thing?
No. I don't do that. I fish for pleasure. I'm not a competition fisherman.
Okay. So Ian White is next opponent. I mean, that's a guy you know for so many years on tour.
Who is it?
Diamond, all right.
Oh, Ian. No, Ian's a great guy, great player. I've got to play better than that. I've got to finish better than that. I scored okay. I've got to finish better than that.
Actually, when you had your first match start, your average was 100 and your percentage was 50%. Really good statistics, you know.
He'll be expecting me to play better, and I'm going to as well. So
we're looking forward to that. Thank you very much. Mervyn King.